on, guys? Welcome back to another Elune video, and I know this is a day late, but I did want to go over the brief weekly news we have. It's not too much information, so hopefully we can keep this video down to about 10 minutes, but I do want to go over what we have for the weekly news this week. So, let me go ahead and move this over first. There we go. Okay, so here we go. For the mid-October update schedule, we are finishing up the last touches of the next update. If everything goes as planned, the update will be held next week. By late October, we'll be able to bring the new dimensional slate and die system. We wanted to spend some extra time polishing up the new feature. So, for you guys who have been saving your 6-star over 5 limit break dupes, make sure you guys hold on this. Hopefully within 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now, we should be able to get our slate system. Unfortunately, I may be in my wedding trip, so I may not really be able to access it possibly till November. If it is the last week of October, we'll have to see. So that's coming up, so stay tuned for that. Boss battle entry limit entry review. I'm not a fan of this. You know, you really have the time to go through and just, you know, farm like crazy Proto 11, 12, Trent 11 and 12. I know the cheese with alluring Bella with on Proto 12. That only, I think people can do like 5-minute runs on that. So maybe that's going to be beneficial to use all your stamina up, especially if you guys have farmed out like all your NPCs, your wayways are done, all that kind of stuff. Then maybe farming story isn't really needed if you guys are good on gold. So, but it is what it is. They are lowering the drop rate though, so you are still going to have your burn, your regular drop rate for your burn 3 clears, which I'm probably just going to stick to that. Is just do my burn and then call it like that. I may even stop doing the regular like autoing 10 burns on the other stages that isn't 11 and 12, just because it's like I have so much gear piled up that I can't even hold it all. So unless it's a piece I really need for a new unit, I think I'm just going to probably stop that and just hoard like as much stamina as I can for when 11 and 12s come or for when new events come. So I have stamina for that, but we'll have to see how that goes. So yeah, get ready for that. For you guys that are really going to push hard on this for gear, go for it. Me personally, I'm probably not going to. But next, we have the Halloween event coming up. Now, normally for gachas, Halloween events typically are very good. Epic 7 had really good Halloween events in the Korea server before it launched on global. I know for Dragalia last year, their Halloween event was amazing. So let's get hyped for that. Hopefully we'll have something really cool coming. So this is some of the artwork you guys can see of the design layouts they're doing. So they don't really have any details on what the event's going to entail. I'm hoping it's going to be the best event we've gotten so far. Let's hope. So there's going to be, themed dark tours are going to be the creatures. I would assume that's who we're going to be fighting. Balance adjustments, so the main focus will be on Caroline, Mikazuki, and Arslan. I'm hoping they do add Rachel to balancing to improve her. I did mention that, and I'm going to be mentioning that in my video I'm going to record for tomorrow. So I'll go into more detail on that because my audio got corrupted in my video yesterday, so all I could do was show the just the clear. But hopefully I'll be able to give you a better video for Sunday's video, guys. But just in hindsight, Special Steel can now target back row, boost to her passives, and being able to use her ultimate more frequently. So, people in my Discord were mentioning that she could use Weiwei's buff, but in this, it doesn't say that. It just says her special can target back row. So her S2 can target back row, and then her boost to her passives, and her ultimate is more effective, is more efficient. So, that doesn't say that she can get the defensive buffs to help her survive. So she's still, as of right now, the way this description goes, it looks like it's going to be back. It's going to be still glass candy, which is not good in the meta. Because, I mean, that doesn't help her for boss fights. Because boss fights, you cannot burst through them. The way they've constructed 11 and 12s, she can't do that. And then Mikazuki, changing underutilized status effects for more helpful effects that are more up to date with the meta, so which is good. Mikazuki's a pure status effect hero, so that makes sense. And then more damage based off enemies' health. So I think they will go into this down here, so we'll go into that a little bit. And then air battle changes, big thing. They're going to be doing sudden death, so the Elune battles are faster. I have noticed that it takes an absorbent like several. If you're going to be doing like say 20 or 10 battles if you're in the higher ranks like myself, it takes a long time because I feel the most effective comp is still the King Rim comp, at least for what I can do. So I feel that that's for sure that they need to change the meta. I'm down for changing the meta, even though I have a very consistent attack team. I'm down for the meta change. So it looks like they're going to be going back to 50% from 100%. And they're also trying to make PvP more rewarding by updating the weekly air battle rewards and adding new items to the shop. So hopefully that means we're going to get more points. We're going to get better rewards for our weekly air rewards for our weekly missions. And then we're also going to get some battle shop new items. So, Alliance buff purchase, ongoing events. First of all, we want to remind Elunes the story of blah, 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 blah. Don't forget to participate. Until the 20th. Regarding Elune Boxel, we are reviewing release Boxel through Magico Boxel. Once finished with license issue, we will update the community. Okay, is that a Elune Boxels? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. We'll have to see on that. I don't have no idea what that is. Asking about the 100-day celebration event. We're constantly looking for what community wants. Feel free to post in your comment section down below. And we're looking into giving the vice leader the rights to purchase alliance buffs. So it doesn't really matter because the alliance buffs right now are pretty garbo. They need to add better alliance buffs. They need to add like EXP, gold, excuse me, things like that to the alliance buff, or they need to add like boss battle, like add 10% attack and health to, for like an hour, and then coordinate, hey guys, or have it be up for more than an hour. Have it be like up for like 6 hours. Like give us 10% attack and health to boss battles. That's going to help us. So we'll have to see on that. And lastly, we notified last week that we'll be sending out special rewards for Korea Global Server Alliance Battle September preseason. We believe many Elunes must be wondering what the special reward is. For the special reward, we'll be asking Alliance leaders to decide the representative Elune of the Alliance. Once we know what Elune your Alliance to agree upon, we will create a costume for that Elune and the Alliance symbol. Okay, so some kind of cool, costume aesthetics that we're going to be getting there. And then we're releasing the artwork for the Pirate Elune. Yeah, we already know about that. Okay, so this... please note the Halloween Pirate Dark Tour will be give greater rewards than the regular Pirate Dark Tour. Okay. And then this is what the lobby is going to look like. That's actually pretty sick for the Halloween. So that's actually pretty dope. Do they have the balancing link? All right, let me pull that up real fast. 1 second, because they did release the actual full description of the... Okay, here we go. Let me pull this up real fast, and they should come up as soon as it loads. We'll go over the exact details. So here we go. So Caroline, so we're just going to go over the red stuff. So before her ultimate devastation attacks with magic damage, when defeating an enemy, attack speed will increase by 25% for 3 turns. Attacks with magic damage when defeating an enemy, attack speed will increase by 50% for 3 turns. Caroline will gain decreased soul consumption up to 3 souls for her ultimate, depending on the number of buffs she possesses. So, when she beats enemies, she basically gets more souls. So this may actually make her more relevant for PvP. Maybe she would be better than Baldur, because that's basically saying her ultimate is going to only cost, what is that? I think her ultimate costs 6 souls or something like that. So probably it'll just be 3 souls. So could make her better than Baldur. We'll have to see. And it does increase her attack speed, so she's going to be faster, blah, 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 all that kind of good stuff. We'll have to see. This Baldur's efficient with reve is just so good for Dimension Rift. So I just don't know, even with her buff, if she's going to be better. I'd have to test it. Because right now I'm using 3 support buffers with Baldur and reve, and I am... I get either very, very close to top 50 or I get top 50, which I'm super happy with, getting 200 gems a week. So we'll have to see, because I really don't know where AoE is going to be really good for. Maybe it's going to be really good when we get into when we get the Dimension Rift changes, then maybe it'll be better. We'll have to see. And then her passive change is going to be on her passive 1. So attack increase by the average base physical defense and magic defense, but converts your defense to 0. Attack increased by the sum of physical defense and magic defense, but converts her defense to 0. So that's a huge attack boost because it's taking the average, the average of physical defense and magic defense. Now it's just adding them, and it's adding that to her attack and converts her defense to 0. So still Glass Cannon build though. And then increases attack by 5%. Previously, after attack up to 30%. Increase attack by 50% after attack. Excuse me. Effect removed when attacked. So basically, when she's attacked, she loses her buff, but she gets a 50% increase in attack after an attack is made. So that's on her passive too, which that does combine with, you know, her getting attack speed so she can attack more frequently, being able to switch her out. It's going to allow her to do more and more damage. So with this may be better in Dimension Rift than maybe a unit like Baldur. We'll have to see. I'd have to really test her. I don't have her +5, so I'm not going to be testing her anytime soon. I only have her +1. So I'm not really going to be able to give you guys a showcase on Caroline, because until I have her +5, there's no really point of really trying to showcase her for Dimension Rift. So some of you other guys out there, if you guys want to, you know, show me some screenshots of what her overall damage is, if she can break like 500k consistently, let me know. But we'll have to see. So next, we're going into Mikazuki. So previously, Mikazuki's Goblin Strike was physical damage to all enemies affected. For enemies affected with a weaken or status effect, 100% to inflict curse effect that causes panic for 2 turns. Now it's just going to deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict zombie curse effect. So there's no precondition of having to be under a weaken or status effect. It's just going to immediately inflict zombie curse effect. So I'm hoping that's a curse effect that we can apply as well with, you know, the boss raid. So that will count for the groggy state. Hopefully that's true. And then passive 1 reduces a random tolerance effect by 1 level when attack is successful. Reduces random tolerance effect by 1 level when attack is successful. And when attacking an enemy with a debuff, crit rate increases by 20%. So a very minor change to her passive. Just increases her crit rate by, with a debuff crit rate. Yeah, so her crit rate increases by 20%. Doesn't seem like it's per turn, so it looks like this could just go immediately up to 100% if you do this 5 times, to where she has 100% crit rate. So that's pretty cool. So Mikazuki, very, very good. That's a very big change on her S3, actually. Not having a precondition for status effects, so that's actually very, very good. And then next, finally, we're going into Arslan. So Arslan went from 50% chance on his special, his AoE Paralyze, of inflicting paralysis for 2 turns, increases crit rate of attack by 20% on enemies with HP lower than 50%. Now it is going to be going into, still does the paralyze effect for 50%, so that's not changing. Increasing crit rate of this attack by 20% on enemies with higher than 50%, which is really, really good. I think that's way better, trying to get rid of the enemies faster, especially in PvP, to where you're going to be able to do more damage and you're not completely reliant on paralysis. If you're encountering like a Trent meta, you know, Medgen meta, where they have a lot of effect resistance, to where he's still doing decent damage. So that's very, very good. I'm actually for that change on his special. Then on his ultimate, his S3, before it was physical damage to an enemy, increases crit rate of attack by 30% on enemies with evasion rate lower than 0%. Deals physical damage to enemy, increases crit rate of this attack by 30%, just straight up increases by 30%, no precondition. And crit power increases by 50% on enemies with evasion lower than 0%. So, actually, no, the first part didn't change. That was the same. So, but it is going basically it's a 20% increase in crit power on enemies with evasion rate lower than 0%. So, basically, if they have a 0% evasion, then you get increased crit power of 50%, which is pretty big, actually. Alright, and then reduces evasion rate of target by 10% for 3 turns when attack lands as a crit. Now it is going to do as passive 2. Reduces evasion rate by target by 10% for 3 turns when attack lands as a crit. Increase Arslan's crit power by 1% for each remaining 1% HP of the enemy. Wow, that's actually a huge buff. So that makes him a very big DPS. So he probably can do a very decent amount of damage with his single target now, because his crit power is going to go up drastically. So that is pretty insane. I'm actually very, very high. I think Arslan's low-key. Arslan or Mikazuki definitely got the best. Mikazuki's S3 got a massive change. Not having that restriction and then having just a straight zombie curse is super good. So I actually like this a lot. I like the Arslan change. I like the Mika change. Still not behind on Caroline. We'll have to see. You know, like I said, I don't have her +5. I don't have any of these. Actually, all these guys I have are... Actually, no, my Arslan's +3, and then my Mika, and then my Caroline's +1. So my Arslan is the closest to be able to showcase you guys. Still need 2 more dupes of him, and I'm not going to use seeds on Arslan because I pull him too much. So I'm just going to get him through Fusion eventually at +5. I need 2 more copies. So, but that is going to be the overall changes, the weekly news. Let me know what you guys think of everything between all the hero balancing changes, the Halloween event coming up, the slate system coming up, hopefully within 2 weeks at the most. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure you guys drop a like down below. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. And ring that bell so you guys can be updated on more Elune content. I thank you guys so much for checking out the video today. Please do share it out with your friends, all that good stuff, and be active in the comment section down below to hear you guys' thoughts, comments, concerns for the updates coming up with the game in the next few weeks. Thank you guys so much once again for checking me out, and I'll see you guys in the next Elune video. Peace out.